In the Nuba Mountains now, the children are killed, the women, the bombing is, the civilian is targeted. It's the war of horror. Really, we need the government and international community to stop these bombings. They're killing people.
This crisis first arose in June of this year, shortly after the military forces of the Republic of Sudan attacked the Abyei region, apparently as a provocation to South Sudan's Sudanese People's Liberation Movement, or SPLM. No one is estimating how many people have been killed in the area. We do know that more than 73,000 people have been displaced. Whatever the numbers involved, we can be sure that the suffering of the people of southern Kordofan, especially the Nuba people, has been catastrophic.
The only reason why they're being exterminated is because they're African. They're indigenous African, black Africans. The only reason why they're being exterminated is because they don't subscribe to the same stripe of religion as Khartoum.
The continuing leadership in northern Sudan are tending now to go to the radical elements, some even echoing after the secession of the South. Now they have a purified Sudan, a Sudan that only having two elements, Muslims and Arabs. And the appetite for ethnic cleansing and war is becoming a clear case.
This is a fundamentally evil government. They are evil, as Ronald Reagan said with regard to 1983, they're fundamentally evil. Evil. And until you remove Bashir, this will continue.
President of Sudan, Omar al-Bashir, is an indicted war criminal. The current governor of the Nuba Mountains is Ahmed Haroun, also an indicted war criminal. Omar al-Bashir publicly stated in April this year that if the National Congress Party could not get its way the ballot box, it would use the ammo box.
The violence that is occurring is by no means an isolated or localized incident. Bashir has done this many, many times before. We must remain engaged and commit our support to democracy, rule of law, justice, and peace for the people of Sudan.
It is frankly unfathomable that the people who were responsible for the Darfur genocide are still in positions of authority, still carrying out their horrific war crimes.
Nuba people are fearing. They don't know what is going to happen. This is very important time for us in Nuba Mountains. We are cultivating. This is the beginning of the season. So if you have not died by the bombs, in next October, the time of harvest, we will not have any food.
The UN has failed. The UN failed in Rwanda. The UN failed in Bosnia. The UN failed in Darfur.
The President of the United States ran very strongly on this issue. He said that he supported a no-fly zone in Darfur. Mr. President, what are you going to do? You know it's happening. What are you going to do?
We have a responsibility still, as it says in the Bible, to be our brother's keeper.
To the church in the West, I think the church in the West has to really do a better job of advocating for the persecuted church. The silence of the church in the West is absolutely incredible. And when I think of what's taking place to believers in that part of the country, that part of the world, and others, and yet I hear total, complete silence.
It amazes me how the U.S. and the international community is able to tolerate these killers for so long, yet aggressively pursue other villains who have not killed 1/100th of the people for whose deaths Omar al-Bashir and his regime are responsible. These are not statistics, these are real people. 3 million lives and counting. When will we say enough?